Welcome back, episode 6, I think, right? Yep, that's what it is. It's episode 6 on the Tuned In Show. Happy to have you here. If this is your 6th time with us, you're amazing. If it's not, you're amazing. But you are a little short of amazing because you should be watching all of these. But if you're new, welcome to the Tuned In Show, where we talk about music, but kind of get off track quite a bit. This episode is going to be good. I'm excited for this one. We have some interesting new, I don't know how to put it. We're not going to have as many segments today because it's going to be a little bit of a different episode. We're going to take one chunk that might take up a little bit of time. I'm not sure, maybe not. But I think it's going to be a fun episode, a little different, but we're just, we're changing the environment, which I think is what we should be doing right now. We should be adapting to new environments and not be afraid to, dabble in something new and break old habits. So that's the theme of today's show. And we have a couple segments, but one of them is going to be fun, and I think it's relevant to be doing it. So without rambling too much, I don't know how else to get into this except to get into music in the news. All right, so music in the news, we have... we're going to extend on a piece of news from last week that we've talked about, a couple times now already. And then we got some other stuff. So, first up, let me get to the link because there's a lot that I didn't want to write down that I found in the news. We have Dolly Parton coming out with a new album. When's the last time she made an album? I'm not sure. But anyways, that's exciting. People love this lovely woman. It's going to be called Dolly Parton and Family, Smoky Mountain DNA, Family, Faith, and Fables. That's a little too long. Sorry. It's a little too long to have an album called that because when you go and talk about the record, nobody's going to remember that. Yeah, I love Dolly Parton and Family, Smoky Mountain DNA, Family, Faith, and Fables. Nobody's saying that. Hey, do you have the new Dolly Parton Family, Smoky Mountain DNA, Family Friends, and Family, Faith, and Fables album? I think it's funny. But more importantly, I guess there's a docu-series coming out in coinciding with this. A 4-part docu-series about her family history. I guess the album is coming out on November 15th. I don't know if that means a docuseries too. But I can say that I think it comes out the same time, this docuseries. But I don't know. It doesn't, based on this news source, I'm not seeing where this will be streaming. Maybe it'll be, a release date for the streaming platform has yet to be announced. So maybe it doesn't release the same day as the album, but shortly around that time, maybe a little bit after. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's interesting to see it. I love biopics, docuseries. I love documentaries, I think, more than biopics. I like the real stuff. And we've talked a lot about music and film recently in these episodes. So that's kind of exciting. Now, segueing into the next thing, Dead & Company extends their Las Vegas residency at the Sphere into August with 6 more dates on top of their 24. So they are scheduled to play August 1st through 3rd and 8th through 10th. So that's 3 nights, twice consecutive in August. I think, I don't know how I feel because tickets are already cheap in itself, but it's because people aren't going to Vegas. People are not going to be spending the money to go to Vegas, which I'm like, you don't need to add more tickets because people still aren't going to go. I think you still need to live stream it, which was a problem we talked about in the last episode. They're not live streaming it, and people are mad. I actually, so I'm in Western New York right now, and I was at the supermarket, Wegmans. If anybody knows what Wegmans is the best. Wegmans is the best supermarket in the world, and I've been to many supermarkets. Okay, this one's the best. Why? Because it's like, it's not like fancy, but it's got a cool aesthetic. The sushi is amazing. The subs are amazing. They have a whole like buffet style food thing. They have great original foods there. What do they call that? Store brand? Whatever. A little bit more expensive, I think. I'm not sure. But it's awesome. Anyways, the sushi guy, I was getting my spicy tuna roll, or not spicy tuna, spicy salmon roll, with the soy sauce and the wasabi. Love that. And the sushi guy's like, have you gone to Vegas yet? And why did he say that? Because I was wearing a Dead & Company t-shirt from when they were in Buffalo, Darien. And I said no. And he said, me neither, but I saw the visuals from Fish and from Dead & Company, and Dead & Company looks like a ton of fun. Fish was trippier, but Dead looks way more fun. And I was like, that's what I was thinking, you know? And he said, guess what he said? Which is what I said last week and 2 minutes ago. The tickets are cheap. That's not the problem. The problem is getting to Vegas. I'm like, amen. Why? Because Vegas is expensive, especially like me on the East Coast. That's a whole day of traveling, maybe a day and a half, really, with jet lag and layover, and it's just not ideal. So that's what the basis of this feeling I have about them extending the dates is like, come on, what are we doing? So hopefully there's some people that are enjoying this news, because I've talked about the Dead & Company a lot and Fish. So hopefully that's okay. But I don't know how I feel, It might work for them. I'd love to go. It just doesn't seem like it's going to happen, and it's sad. So that's sad, like I just said. Speaking of sad, Bill Walton, the NBA Hall of Fame player, athlete, ESPN commentator, I think it was ESPN he was on, and famous, esteemed deadhead, unfortunately passed away on Monday of last week when you're watching this, which was the 27th, of course, of May. Now, I don't really know too much about the NBA, but I do know, as a deadhead, this guy was a diehard. I remember seeing him in interviews. He's been on all these podcasts about the Dead. He's told stories. He was a roadie. He was one of the biggest deadheads. He was at the final 3 shows in San Francisco this past July with Dead & Company. And he recently passed away. I think it was cancer. So sad. And I'm not going to touch on it too much because I don't know much about him, but it's still sad nonetheless. And that was kind of a segue from the Dead & Company thing. So, he's tall. He's tall. You ever seen a picture of him and Bob Weir next to each other? Whoa. Tall guy. Rest in peace. Anyways, that's all I got from music in the news. There's not too many other news things going on recently besides more updates on Billie Eilish's album, which apparently is doing pretty well. I think it's number 2 right behind Taylor Swift right now. Behind, what is it? Tortured Poet Compartment Society or something like that. Department Society. Era Tour. I don't know. Anyways. Man. Do I have allergies? No, I don't. So that's what I got for music in the news. That's all I got. And before we get into the next segment, I do want to say we are back with some sponsors. Today's episode is sponsored by TV shows played in dental offices. In parentheses, they contacted me. They wanted me to say this. In parentheses, most likely HGTV. makes sense. End parentheses. So, thank you to TV shows played in dental offices for really supporting our show and the movement that we're going for with this episode. So make sure to check those out the next time you're about to get your teeth cleaned. All right. So I only have one more segment for this episode. But like I said, I'm anticipating it's going to take a minute or two to get through. So it's going to sound like a familiar one. But wait, there's going to be a twist. Let's get into Record of the Week. Right, okay, so Record of the Week is going to be different. You know why? Because we have 100 albums. 100 albums to be talking about today. Now, am I exaggerating? No, but am I is that a lie? Kind of. So, as many of you know, Apple Music just released their official list for the 100 best albums of all time. And according to sources, it was chosen by Apple's superb listening team or whatever, as well as some celeb stars. I think like Pharrell Williams was involved in this. We're going to check it out. Now, I'm not going to go into detail with all of them because I don't know all of them. But for the ones that I might have some sort of an opinion on, I'll give it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. If you agree, whatever. But I think, based on what I'm hearing, Apple is full of shit. So, I'm going to record my screen as we go through this and look at Apple Music's 100 best albums to see what it is they're up to. We're going to start at 100, go down the line. Let's do this. Okay. 100, Body Talk, Robin. Know nothing about it. Pretty sure it's electronic music, and I think it was good. That's all I know. Anyways, moving on. How do I? Okay, you should scroll. 99 is Hotel California by the Eagles. Now, some initial thoughts are coming. The Eagles, amazing. I don't know as if they deserve to have an album here. Is that crazy? I just think that they have really good radio. The Greatest Hits album, you shouldn't put it on this, but that's their best album because they just have number one hit singles. They don't have like a good like front to back. Like they might have a good front to back album, but it's not like a cohesive listen with the next track complementing the one before and after. You know what I'm saying? I feel like for this type of music, this like Southern rock, California rock, I'm thinking maybe Allman Brothers, like Brothers and Sisters, maybe. I'm thinking maybe Lynyrd Skynyrd. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is okay. I'm not going to say much. I do think I prefer other Eagles albums, though. I think. Yeah, I don't know. Let's move on. Okay. Whoops. I can't scroll. How do you do this? Do I just click on it? Oh, okay. This is fine. Okay, so Astroworld, Travis Scott at 98. I do know this album. And yes, it's pretty good. Top 100 albums of all time. If it's going to be here on this list, it better be at 98 because it shouldn't be anywhere else. Hotel California is better. Oops, why did I... Okay. Oh, okay, just keep going. Rage Against the Machine, 97, their self-titled album. Yeah, okay. I don't know why this is... Okay, here we go. Rage Against the Machine, they're self-titled. I love Rage Against the Machine. Not love, but they should have an album because they're one of those bands that definitely defined a generation and had a generation of cult following that still continues to feel young today, their fan base. And they're very timeless, in my opinion. So, 90, yeah, sure. Lord. I don't like Lord. Sorry. Don't. I heard her newest one, I guess. I think that one's really good. So I don't really know any of the songs besides like Royals off this one and Ribs. But the new one I think is as an album probably better. Let's move on. Eesh. I just am struggling so much here. Okay, Confessions by Usher. I have no opinion on this. Because all I know is, yeah. Yeah. I could think of probably 100 albums that are better than this one. But like I just said, I have no opinion on it. Let's move on. Onward. Okay, this is glitching everywhere. Anyways, I just have to do this. Okay. Let's get back. Sorry for those listening. Untrue by Burial. Don't know it. Moving on. Solange. People love her. And I think she's right. She's a pretty good R&B type pop artist. And I know there's actually a couple songs that I don't mind by her. This one might deserve to be here. Flower Boy, 92. Flower Boy is definitely my favorite Tyler, the Creator album. I think I talked about it already once. I'm very surprised to see Tyler, the Creator, just in general, on the top 100 albums. However, I'm not mad at it. In fact, I'm proud of it. I think this album is my favorite by him, but maybe Igor, or maybe Call Me If You Get Lost, should be here. I don't know Call Me If You Get Lost, but I know Igor was huge because it was more of like an artistic, like alter ego story. The whole album is unskippable in my opinion. You have the interlude, the guy talking, but we don't need that to count. I think maybe Igor, but I think Flower Boy I obviously love more. I did see him live once with my good friend Teddy, and it was the Igor tour. It was amazing. It was amazing, to say the least. So Flower Boy, sure, let's throw it right there. 92, that's perfect. George Michael. Hell no. I'm just going to say that right now. Hell no. AC/DC Back in Black. Okay, I get it. AC/DC is popular. This album is iconic. Yeah, no complaints there. No complaints. Okay, Lady Gaga, The Fame Monster Deluxe Edition. What do you got? Bad Romance on there. Okay, it's got the tracks here. That's actually Paparazzi, Poker Face. Wow, that's a big album. I got no issues, I guess. A little weird. Nina Simone, 88. Sure. Let's throw her at 88. Onward. Don't know this album at all. I'm going to look like such a loser for not knowing. Mary J. Blige. She's famous. Sure, for the era, yeah. We got to get into some good... Ooh. Okay. See, this is why I did this segment. This is what it's all about. How far are we into this? 22 minutes. Perfect. So, now, if you know me, I'm a huge Casey Musgraves fan. And Golden Hour is it's not one of my most favorite albums of all time, but it's one of the most listenable records for me to listen to. I could listen to it again and again and again and again. It's timeless. It's easy to listen to. But maybe that's why I don't think it deserves to be here. It's too easy to listen to. It doesn't seem adventurous. It's not influential. It's just a good album. So I'm happy that it's here. I'm definitely happy it's at 85, but I was not expecting it to be on maybe even the top 200 albums of all time, 500. Yeah, and they're calling it country here. I don't even know if you can call it country. It's just pop with a little twang. But I do love this album so much. So much. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. Well, It's a 9 out of 10 for me. Doggy Style, Snoop Dogg. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Throw Snoop Dogg on there. I think that's great. At 84. Okay, Patti Smith. She's influential. What tracks you got on here? Free Money. Land. Break It Up. Kimberly. Okay. Some of these I'm not familiar with, but that's just because I've never listened to this album as a whole. But it's very artistic, so yeah, Patti Smith should be on here. 50 Cent, hell no. Next, 50 Cent, why are you on here? After the Gold Rush, Neil Young, 81. I think, yeah, I think that's fine. I think it's fine. I think maybe this album or just Neil Young, any of the other big ones like Harvest Moon, maybe the Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young album. I think that maybe it is on here. I'm not sure yet, but I think it should be a little higher, top 60, top 50. But after the Gold Rush, yeah, sure. Because I know that one was a huge one too. Yeah. Eminem, Marshall. Yeah, didn't even think about Eminem. Absolutely at 80. Maybe even higher, honestly, for Eminem. But I think this is definitely a very time era defining album, right? I wasn't there for it. I wasn't alive for it. But was I? No, I wasn't. But I think let's do it. Lana Del Rey. This album I don't really know anything about, but I know that people like her other albums more. So I think maybe she as an artist deserves to be on here, but maybe another album, not this one. NFR, maybe not NFR. Like the one, the newest one. But maybe that one hasn't been around for long enough. I think that's all I'm going to say. I don't know enough about her. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Elton John, yes. This album, yeah, this one's fine. This is a good pick. 78, good pick. Good pick in my opinion. I'm actually surprised. I'm happy with some of these. I don't really know if I have an opinion on Madonna, but I don't know if this album should be here. So I'm going to say I disagree with 77. Are we enjoying this so far? I am. Bad Bunny, Next. I get it, people love him. I don't really know too much about Missy Elliott. Same thing with Mary J. Blige, though. I'm sure it's somewhat fitting. But maybe Mary J. Blige should be in the place of Missy Elliott here. In my opinion. 9 Inch Nails. Oof. Well, I know 9 Inch Nails, but I'm not really a big fan of that. I don't know. Sure. It's fine. Sure. Oh, okay. Steely Dan. I never know how to pronounce this. Is it Aja? Is it Aha? Is it Aha, Aja? Now, we did have Can't Buy a Thrill as Record of the Week a few weeks ago. And I don't think I'm mad at this one. I would put it instead of this one. Can't Buy a Thrill instead of Aha or whatever. But I know this album's pretty iconic. Peg is a great song. That's probably the most famous one off of this. Yeah, I'd probably put Can't Buy a Thrill. SOS SZA. Yeah, sure. I feel like this one's already iconic. Modern R&B. Yeah, okay, sure. I think it's fine. It's so catchy for people. I don't like it at all. It's not for me. But I think people love it, and I think it's fine, and I think that's great because a lot of these songs are going to be around for a while. I know I will be listening to it for a very long time. So SZA, sure. Don't like her. I don't know what that is. Do I? Yeah, no, I don't know who these guys are. Kraftwerk. Maybe I've heard of them actually. Ooh, okay, good. Straight Outta Compton, NWA 70. Yes. That's all I'm gonna say. Great album. Yeah, I remember listening to actually quite a few of these songs. Express Yourself is my favorite. Ooh, that's a great song. That is a great song. Holy cow. Didn't even realize how good of a song that is. Metallica, you gotta put Metallica on here. Maybe not this album though. Maybe the black one, or I don't know about Ride the Lightning. Okay, this is fine, but I'd probably put the black album instead of Master of Puppets. So now we're going into we're 70s through 60s, so just as a little reference for those listening. 68, Is This It? By The Strokes. Seen The Strokes live with some buddies. Wasn't great live, not gonna lie. Not really their fault. We were in stadium seats and they were really bad seats. But I got no problems with this. I don't really know this album too much. I know, Last Night. I know Someday. I know... Which song do I really like off of this? Last Night's good. Hard to Explain is good. Take It or Leave It's good. Yeah, okay. I don't know. For this era, sure. Don't know Portishead. The Smiths, The Queen Is Dead. At number 66. Now, I don't know how I feel about this one. Maybe Meat is Murder is better. However, this is coming from somebody that is not the Smiths fan. In fact, I can't listen to the Smiths. I just can't. No issues or anything, but it's hard. It's so hard for me to listen to the Smiths. I just don't like, what's his name, Morrissey? The lead singer's voice. Don't like his voice. And it's not his fault. It's mine. My taste buds don't like it. 66, The Smiths should probably be on this top 100, though. Trying to stay unbiased. But this show, it's fun and biased. So, 66, The Smiths, sure. But maybe it should be Meat is Murder. I would go out tonight, but I couldn't shut up. De La Soul. Don't have a big enough opinion, but I don't know if they deserve to be here, especially over the Smiths. I think it's a little weird, but they're fun. It's fun music, right? Still waiting for this is an interesting list so far, to say the least. Did I skip one? Let's see, did I skip one? '64. Erykah Badu. Yeah, she's influential, right? 64, sure. Are You Experienced by the Jimi Hendrix Experience? I think Axis Bolt is Love is better. But I could see why this one's being picked. It's more listenable for everyone. Because you got Hey Joe, Fire, Purple Haze, obviously Foxy Lady. I think Axis Bold as Love is better. And I like Electric Ladyland the most, but sure. Now, while I am okay with this album being on this list, knowing me, should be a lot higher. Actually, maybe not a lot higher. Somewhere between 40 and 50, I think. But we're about to find out. Tupac. Forgot about him. All Eyes on Me. I think this one should be higher too. 62 is a little low. My opinion. I don't know. 61. Say Love Deluxe. I don't know. about that. I just don't know. Velvet Underground and Nico, 60. Yes, absolutely. Maybe a little higher. Now, here's where my bias is going to come in again. I think... Why am I yawning, dude? Why am I yawning? I think... is it the self-titled? Yeah, the self-titled one with Rock and Roll and Who Loves the Sun. That's better in my opinion. More listenable. But I get it. This one was super... as they say, revolutionary. 100% revolutionary. I think this album is awesome. Little Scary. Heroin. Don't like that. Like, it's a great song, but when I first heard it, I was so surprised. Anyways, yes, the Velvet Underground. Maybe this one should be a little bit higher. Also, maybe one of the most iconic album covers. I think it's great. Are they taking into account? 59. We're going into the 50s. AM by the Arctic Monkeys. Yeah, I honestly don't know. Not that I don't know. I don't think I like the Arctic Monkeys that much. But heck yeah. I don't see an issue with this one at all. Ooh, what's the story, Morning Glory? At number 58. Oasis. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I love my favorite Oasis song, which is Basic. It's on this, Champagne Supernova. Obviously, love that one. How many spin where were you when we were getting high? So good. D'Angelo. I don't know much about D'Angelo. Moving on. At 56, we have The Cure. The Cure. Is this their best album? I don't know much about The Cure. I think maybe this should be lower, where some of those other ones that I said should be higher are. But that's just my basic opinion. I don't know much about The Cure, and I'm pretty sure they have a better album than this. I'm not giving great reviews of this because I'm just like somebody that's heard a couple songs off of a lot of these albums, maybe just one. Some of them I know them very well, but I'm no Anthony Fantano. This is just fun. Rihanna. Maybe this one should be in the 90s. And also, isn't the... does this one have... what's on this one? Can you hear that? There's a lawnmower going. It might not pick it up. Anyways. Sure, Rihanna. But you deserve a little bit lower, in my opinion. I love Supreme, John Coltrane. This one should be higher. Not my favorite jazz album out of the less than handful of jazz albums I've listened to. But 54, this album should definitely be on this list. 100%, probably a little higher if I'm trying to be unbiased. But part 4, Psalm is good, and I like, was it Resolution? I think I like Resolution too. Exile on Main Street by the Rolling Stones at 53. Rolling Stones, I wonder if they have another album here. I think Sticky Fingers is better though. But Exile on Main Street is awesome. Some Girls is cool too, but I don't know if that should be on this list. Sticky Fingers should definitely be in place of this, and maybe also higher, 30s maybe. Rolling Stones are great though. Tumbling Dice, Sweet Virginia, Torn and Frayed, Loving Cup. Maybe I take it back. I don't, but this album's great. Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses at 52. I don't like Guns N' Roses, but I'm sure they deserve to be here. Now moving on to 51. Sign of the Times by Prince. Shouldn't it be Purple Rain? I'm just basic in that way. Because I'm trying to think about like popularity too. So maybe that's why Hotel California was here, but maybe it should be Purple Rain. But Prince, yeah, sure. Kate Bush, 50, Hounds of Love. I'm going to say this right now. No. I don't know that. I've never listened to this album all the way through. But I can guarantee you this is because of Running Up That Hill, the Stranger Things song. And for that reason, 100% no. No. The Joshua Tree, U2 at 49. I like War. I think War's great. But I know this one's big. So sure. I feel like with a lot of these, it's not the artist I have a problem, it's the album. Beastie Boys. Like this one too. It should be God. I don't know the Beastie Boys enough. But the one with I'm not even going to try. I'm sure this is fine. I'm sure at 48 Beastie Boys, that's good. Take Care by Drake, 47. No Drake on this list. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's me being biased. I don't think Drake should be on here at all. Or 50 Cent, obviously. Especially when you have Exodus, just only one in front of it. Exodus, if Drake is 47, Exodus should be freaking number one at this point. Exodus, Bob Marley, excellent Exodus. Great album, by the way. Should be much higher, 20. Yeah, I'm going to say it should be in the 20s somewhere. Oh my gosh, Natural Mystic, Exodus, Jamming, Waiting in Vain, Three Little Birds, One Love, Guiltiness. I don't know if I like that one that much. Anyways, Natural Mystic, that's a great song. And then when you have like Jork in front, absolutely not. I don't know much about the music here, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to say Bob Marley being at 46 is a crime when comparing it to that. Stevie Wonder, Inner Visions. Stevie Wonder should absolutely be here, but I think Songs of the Key of Life should be here instead. Like I said, I don't know what's about to come, so maybe that album is ahead, but if I had to pick, Songs of the Key of Life should be instead of Inner Visions at 44. Talking Heads, people love Talking Heads. 43, sure. Let's move on. Janet Jackson, I don't know. I think 42 is based on, I'm sorry if you guys can hear this buzzing noise. No way around it. Yeah, no way around it at this point. We're already into the episode. How many minutes? Yeah, this is a longer episode. But that's okay. We're going to fly through these. Janet Jackson, I don't think so. Outkast, no, not this album. It should be, shit. Forget what it's called. With Miss Jackson. Miss Jackson. And the other one. That's good. Aretha Franklin. Yes, absolutely. This one, I've never loved a man the way I love you. 40. Yes. Perfect. Illmatic, Nas, 39. Yes. Totally agree. Some of these I'm just like, yep. Carole King Tapestry. Love this album. Should be higher. 38's a little low in my opinion. But sure. 38 is fine. Tapestry's a great album. I feel the Earth Move, my favorite song. 36 Chambers. Enter the Wu-Tang Clan. 37, yeah. All right. That makes sense. Beyonce, no. Wasn't Lemonade better? And it should be in the 90s or 80s. No, disagree with that. London Calling, The Clash, 35. That might be perfect. Maybe a little low. But yes, London Calling by The Clash is great. Guns of Brixton is awesome. Train in Vain. Public Enemy, Takes a Nation, A Million Souls back at 34. I would switch this with the NWA, Straight Outta Compton. That album. Kid A, Radiohead. I get it, they're trying to be cool, but OK Computer. It should just be OK Computer. And In Rainbows is even better than Kid A. The Notorious B.I.G. Yes, it should be on here, but it should be much lower. 70s, 60s, 50s, somewhere in there. Not 32. Alanis Morissette. Isn't she on the board for picking this? I'm pretty sure I read that. No. Sorry. Alanis Morissette, not anywhere near 31. When we all fall asleep, where do we go? Billie Eilish. Oh, God. See, I'm going to be really biased and say no, not at 30. Maybe not on this list at all. If it is, 90 through 100. People love Billie Eilish. Maybe down the line we can put it here, but not right now. Anyways. A Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory. I like the relaxation one. Is that what it's called? I don't know, but sure. Oh, man. 28. 28, we have Dark Side of the Moon. I think it should be a smidge higher, especially with the Tribe Called Quest one being right below it and the Billie Eilish being right below that. It seems a little cruel to put those right next to each other. In that case, this should be below 20, in my opinion. Dark Side of the Moon at 28. A little bit of a rob there for them. But maybe the Wall's up there? I don't think so. LZ2, Led Zeppelin 2 at number 27. I think Led Zeppelin 2 is amazing, but I think 4 might be more deserving. 3 is my favorite, I think, and 3 is good too, but I don't know. I think 2 or 4, so maybe this is appropriate. Sure, I think it's fine. I think it's maybe a little low though. The number's low, but it should be 2 or 4 that's on this list. I'm thinking top 20 again. Kanye with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I hate being bipolar. It's awesome. I think that one's cool. But this is one of the biggest albums of the 2000s hip hop era. So, yes, I think this should be on this list, but I think it should be at least over 45 in my opinion, not 26. 26 is way too low for this album. It's not better than Dark Side of the Moon in any way, shape, or form. This is, okay, I didn't even realize how many of these albums that are ahead of some of the ones we've already looked at do not deserve to be ahead of them. I think Straight Outta Compton, the NWA one, again, should be higher. I think Dark Side of the Moon should be higher than this. I think a lot should be higher than this. Okay, Miles Davis Kind of Blue. I was expecting to see this. 25? Sure, that's a golden number right there. I think that's fine. This is a great album. Intro to Jazz. Got me into it. I think it's great. I love this album. It's so fun. Blue and Green is not my favorite. I like all blues. I like So What. So What's my favorite. That's a great album. Ziggy Stardust. David Bowie. I don't really like David Bowie that much. I like Space Oddity. But sure. I can't argue it. At 24, can't argue it. Look at that. I'm hoping the screen is recording so you can watch as I'm doing this. But, a lot of people just listen to this too, so maybe it won't be that bad. Discovery by Daft Punk. Maybe it should be on top 100. But once again, above 80. Not 23. No way. Not 23. That's not okay. That's not okay. I love how this whole time it's just me looking at albums and saying yes and no. And then also not really explaining them. This one's surprising me. Born to Run, Bruce Springsteen. I have talked about this a little bit. I don't know. God. I think it's a great album. And I've really enjoyed it. But I think maybe a little lower, honestly. I think if you switch this with Led Zeppelin 2 or Dark Side of the Moon, that'd be more appropriate. But man, I love Born to Run. 10th Avenue, Freeze Out, Thunder Road. Ooh, Revolver, the Beatles at 21. This one's a little surprising. I think Revolver's great. It's definitely not their best album. I think Rubber Soul is better for the Beatles. I think in terms of this kind of era that they were in. If this is the only Beatles album, then this is really not okay. It should, obviously you gotta have Sgt. Pepper's. It's once again not my favorite, but Sgt. Pepper's is, unbiasedly better. But I think Revolver is a really interesting pick, and I love it. But I don't know how I feel about it, because Beatles being this low is too low, but also the album's not as good as their others, so maybe it's okay if we see another Beatles album. I'm not sure. We'll leave it as meh. Man, Revolver's great. Revolver's a great album. Taxman, Eleanor Rigby, Here, There, and Everywhere is a hidden gem. Speaking of hidden gems. Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. Okay. At 20, maybe a little higher. Maybe 15, 16. This one was huge. Huge. It inspired the Beatles to make Sgt. Pepper's. Allegedly. So yeah, that's a good spot. Okay. Dr. Dre, The Chronic. Should not be this high. Sorry. Above Pet Sounds, above Revolver, above Dark Side of the Moon, above Born to Run, above, maybe it should be above My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I think this should be up near the Wu-Tang one, honestly. I think this is ridiculously low. I'm sorry. Now at 18 we have 1989 Taylor's Version Deluxe. Are you freaking kidding? Are you? No, absolutely not. If there was a Taylor Swift album on here, it would have to be, and this is me being totally biased, but it would have to be either the regular 1989 or Folklore, and it would have to be, trying to be unbiased, but also realistically would have to be above 85. And I think 85 is being generous. I don't know if it's on the top 100 albums of all time, but if it is, it's probably 1989, and I'd put it at 99 or 89. But to put the Taylor's version, you're just being politically correct by putting Taylor's version, because Taylor Swift lost all her money and got robbed by the label. Guess what? That's what signing up with a record label looks like. You're not special for saying, it's all like girl bossy. I get it. Like, that's cute. This makes me really angry. It shouldn't be the Taylor's version one. Why? Because it came out 3 months ago. And you're saying this is number 18. 18 best out. Better than Kind of Blue. 1989 Taylor's version is better than Love Supreme. 1989 Taylor's version is better than Dark Side of the Moon. 1989 Taylor's version is better than My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I can't. This is a tongue twister. This album, what's really making me mad is the Taylor's version. It's only like, oh my God, you're just trying to appeal to the younger generation. That's like, oh, she was robbed of her money. She didn't have any fare. Guess what? That's what every freaking record is the company taking your money from your music. You're not special. Sorry. The regular one maybe should be on this list. Like I said, above 89. That's criminal. This is a longer episode, and I'm sorry, but we're almost done. What's going on? Marvin Gaye. Hell yeah. 17. Perfect. Blue, Joni Mitchell. 16. Perfect. Maybe a little higher, actually. Joni Mitchell. Awesome record. Adele, 21 to 15. No. You can't just do What's Going On and Blue and then do in front of that Adele 21. No, shouldn't even be on this list. Maybe 80s or 90s. It's better than 19. Okay. Highway 61 Revisited, Bob Dylan, number 14. Yup. I would even put Bringing It All Back Home or Nashville Skylines. Awesome. But I understand Highway 61 Revisited as 14. I'd put it top. Actually, 14 is perfect. Yeah, 100%. The Blueprint, Jay-Z at 13. Now I'm pissed off. The 13th best album of all time is Jay-Z's Blueprint. And that's not even the best Jay-Z album. It's not. Stupid. This is stupid. This is stupid. I'm sorry. That's so stupid. Okay, there is OK Computer on this. Okay, that makes me happier. Little high, though. Little high. Just put the Dylan one in place. Jeez, what the hell? Fleetwood Mac Rumors, 11. I'm surprised it's not top 5, honestly, but 11, sure. I think it should maybe be 10 or 9. Lemonade Beyonce, 10. I did say this album was better than the self-titled one. But holy shit, 10th best album of all time. This is laughable. This is laughable. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It should be 70 or 80. 10? Are you kidding me? This is the last couple. This is terrible. This is absolutely atrocious. This is atrocious. Nirvana Nevermind at 9. Honestly, it's a little high. I'd put this where OK Computer is. But I understand it should be top 15, no doubt. Or Pearl Jam 10. Amy Winehouse, Back to Black. Great album, not number 8 by any means. Not number 8. This is progressively getting just more embarrassing. Should be 40s, 30s or 40s. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. Good Kid, Mad City's 7. Kendrick Lamar. All these albums should be on this list, but they should be at least above 40 or 50. This one should be 60. Sorry. Okay, maybe a little higher. 7 is where you put Kendrick's Good Kid, Mad City on top 100 albums of all time. No. There it is. Songs to the Key of Life, Stevie Wonder. I did say this one should be on here. 6 is a little high. I'd swap this with Rumors. This is so messed up, this list. Blonde Frank Ocean, number 5. I need some water. Blonde Frank Ocean. Does it even deserve to be on the top 100? Maybe for the youngins? Sure. At least 70 or 80. At least 80. Blonde Frank Ocean, number 5 of all time. We're in the top 5. Nope. Sorry. Channel Orange is better too, by the way. There's Purple Rain by Prince. Should not see it this high though. Should be. I don't like Prince, so maybe I'm wrong, but 20 to 30, not 4. You know what's concerning me right now? We're about to go into the top 3. And I'm concerned because there's more than 3 albums that still haven't been mentioned that should be. So I'm really nervous. Let's go into the top 3. Top 3 albums of all time according to Apple Music. This is going to be scary. Abbey Road, The Beatles. I mean, I get it. It's iconic, but no, I don't agree with this. Like I said earlier, should be... Whoops, excuse me. Should be Sgt. Pepper. I had a little hiccup. Should be Sgt. Pepper's, in my opinion. Or... the White Album, actually. Forgot about that one. But the White Album has some misses on there. Abbey Road at 3. Ugh. Maybe that's okay. Second best album of all time, according to Apple Music, is Thriller by Michael Jackson. All right. I'll let it slide. But it shouldn't be 2. Shouldn't be the second best album of all time. It should be top 15. Not 2. So what is the number 1 album of all time, according to Apple Music? Well, it should be... I feel like man, there's a lot of albums that we didn't see that should be here. Let's go into it. See what it is. Let's just go straight into it. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is the number 1 album of all time. Sorry, it's not. It's on this list. It's somewhere between 40 and 50, 30 to 50. That's terrible. Where was Pearl Jam 10? Where was Sticky Fingers, as I said? Where was No Sublime? No 40 Ounces to Freedom? No Californication. And I don't mean this for top 10. I mean, these albums should be anywhere from 100 to 1. These albums. No Tom Petty album. Self-titled. Or not self-titled. Full Moon Fever. That should have been there. No. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. No Simon and Garfunkel. No Bridge Over Troubled Water. That should have been there. No. I think George Harrison, All Things Must Pass, should be in there. I think John Lennon, Imagine, should be in there. I think Paul McCartney, Band on the Run, should be there. Maybe not. I think more Zeppelin should be there. I think we had Metallica. Jeez. So we needed some more alternative rock in there. We needed some more new wave, I think. No Blondie. Blondie's, okay, maybe not. No, maybe that makes sense. Just very poor list. I think I said about 30 of the albums deserve a spot on this list, but I think out of all 30 that I said deserve to be on this list, do not deserve to be at the spot they were at, probably lower. I can't believe Blonde at number 5. That's so, yes, it's a good album, but that's so incorrect. I just can't believe it. This episode's been an hour long. It's been a longer one, and that makes up for the last week's that was really short, and the one before that, we'll be back to shorter episodes next week, guys. Embarrassing. So embarrassing. And that's why you need to get Spotify, because I'd like to see Spotify's picks. I'm sure they'd be much, much better. So that's going to conclude today's episode. No campfire today. A lot of just ranting. I'd like to hear your top 5 albums. I'd like to hear what you think. I think that was terrible, to say the least. It was, you know where it really was bad? Was like the 100 through 80 was weird, and 20 through 1 was weird. So that's going to conclude today's episode. Start listening to better albums, Apple. I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy your Sunday.